Alright, I thought I would share a video of my 3rd gen Camaro. I've noticed a lot of people on YouTube sharing theirs and their experiences. So this is an 86 Z28. I picked this up probably a year and a half ago. Bought it from a gentleman for a pretty good deal, like $300-400, something like that. But it did not have a transmission, did not have a motor. Pretty much just the body. Obviously did not have the wheels and tires on it. Anyways, real quick, this is a 5.3 Vortec. I had this freighted to me a couple years ago. It came out of a 2001 Silverado. It did have about 170,000 miles on it, something like that. It had a lot. I did completely rebuild this motor. Had it stripped down to the block. Took it to a machine shop. They bored it 20 over. Had it honed. Cleaned up. Came out pretty good. Anyways, to go over a few of the parts that I've done. All the parts internally are all brand new except for the crankshaft and the connecting rods. I did go through a company by the name of Partsology. They come with a master rebuild kit. I believe I paid like $500-600 for it. Not very much. Everything's held up so far. I mean, the motor's still new. I haven't really gone on it too much. Everything else, as far as the rockers, those are Michigan Motorsports. The lifters are also Michigan Motorsports. Not the lifters. The push rods are Brian Tooley. Also, I put pack springs in it, and it is an Elgin 1840 cam, sloppy stage 2 cam. I also recently put these Speed Engineering headers on it. So far so good. The driver's side is pretty easy to install. Passenger side, pain in the ass. So if you ever plan on doing the same setup with these Speed Engineering, I would suggest you not have the transmission installed, kind of a pain in the butt, and go from the bottom up. It's just a little easier, I thought, from my experience. Let's see, I did put some AN fuel lines on this. Also AN lines from the transmission up to my transmission cooler. Let's see, I'll go ahead and show you what my setup is for the fuel system in the back. I have excuse me, it's just a 10-gallon fuel cell that I picked up. I believe it was on Amazon for like, I don't know, super cheap, can't remember exactly, $50-70, something like that, 80. Anyways, I do have an external fuel pump. It's an MSD fuel pump. Definitely stand by those. I mean, a lot of people complain because they're kind of loud, but honestly, it doesn't bother me. My car's loud. Didn't try to build a car that was quiet, by all means. Take a look inside. I have yet to buy a shifter. Wife kind of gives me a hard time, but that'll definitely be the next thing. I just have this little rod right here that I've connected to the transmission itself to shift. Kind of a pain, but it's not street legal quite yet, so I'm not really driving it, so it doesn't really bother me that much. I do have these Equus gauges in here for my temperature, battery, and of course oil pressure. Let's see, the transmission is a 4L60E. It's just the original. I just had it rebuilt. I believe I bought it off a guy on KSL for like $300-400. It was rebuilt. Honestly, a really good deal. I am running a high stall torque converter. I believe it's a 2500 to 3000 RPM torque converter. Definitely does well. Figured if I purchased one of those, I'd try to hopefully save the transmission. Not completely, but get a little bit of beating before it dies on me. And as far as the wheels and tires go, I bought these off Jegs. They are just race star wheels and tires, some Mickey Thompsons. Thought they were pretty nice. I noticed a couple other people on YouTube using the same setup. Thought it looked pretty good, so I thought I'd use the same ones. Again, the exhaust isn't completely done. I just have the headers on it. Things I still need to do are the O2 sensors, and then of course get it tuned, and I need to finish the exhaust. I'm probably gonna keep it kind of that old school look and probably put the exhaust somewhere back here, maybe in front of the tire or something on both sides. I don't know if I want to run mufflers or just keep it straight piped. I am in Idaho. I'm in the land of not really a lot out here, so don't see myself getting in too much trouble. Anyways, I'll go ahead and fire this thing up real quick. I'm not even gonna bother talking because it's pretty loud when it is running, so you guys can get a sound for it. Yep, it's pretty loud. Again, like I said, it needs to be tuned, but surprisingly enough, she runs pretty well with having the stock tune that came with the truck originally. Well, if anybody has any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. By all means, I'm not a professional. I am not a mechanic by trade. I've gone to school 600 hours at Davis Applied. Honestly, this is just a hobby of mine. Thought I'd try it. This is my first car I've ever built. Worked on a lot of cars, but again, I'm not a professional, just more so a hobbyist in my opinion. Last thing, as far as the wiring harness goes, I did use just a cheap standalone 4-wire wiring harness. I bought that off eBay, I believe, too, for like $400. It was cheap. I haven't had any problems, so again, if you're trying to do a budget build like I did, I would suggest you do the same thing. If there's any questions and I can answer them, please ask me any questions you have. If you plan on building a car, or if you have built one, you have an issue happening, please go ahead and ask me. Let's see, you can find me on Frankenstein's Garage. That's what I'm going to put on this car. I thought that was kind of a cool name to put on this car because I did pretty much piece the thing together. So, yeah, if you have any questions, don't hesitate. Let me know. Thank you.